What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kofi Kingston, a.k.a. 1/3 of the New Day. You're not going to say it with me, sir? Yeah, come on, you better participate. Let's try it again. 1/3 of the New Day, and you are watching The Young and the Wrestlers. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome to The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
I'm Jem Rolly.
That's pretty good. This is our Raw breakdown analysis. Hashtag Raw Anal. This comes at you every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head to our Facebook group, Discord, Twitter, Instagram. All those links are in the down below area. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, you can now join us live on Twitch on a Wednesday evening. That is 8 p.m. Australian, Eastern, whatever the hell time. You come over to Twitch and join the chats. It varies. People could be watching this in years from now. They won't, because this is like single week content. That's not evergreen. People won't come back. It's all good. But yeah, so you can watch us record the show live, which is good fun. You can get in the chat, join the shindig, hear the pre and post show, which is mostly just vile. Today we had some jams. We had some good tunes. But what that used to be. Watching the show live used to be one of our Patreon tiers, but if you do want to support us financially, patreon.com/thepopculturist. It's currently no rewards. You just go there if you want. Give us money if you want. Don't have to. No obligations to do so. But if you want to support us financially, head over to twitch.tv. No, that's not that one. If you want to support us in a more one-off fashion, because I've blown myself out in all this thing, you can look at Jem's front area and pick up the same shirt at thepopculturist.com/shop. I mean, by shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. We are on Twitch, twitch.tv/popculturist. As I said, regular show, also play games. But this Sunday, 8 p.m. Australian time, I will be joined by Craig from The Mullet Show, and we will be doing our WWE 2K20 Royal Rumble predictions. Ow! Hit the elbow on the table, where we use the power of 2K20 to predict what will happen on the Rumble card. Now, I'm yet to do a Rumble on 2K20. I can only presume it will implode in on itself, and someone will get thrown out of the ring, but not land on the ground. Therefore, they'll never be eliminated.
Through the ring.
And the game will go on forever.
Yeah, somebody's going to glitch through the ring, and then
that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I should get in there and test it out, because I don't even know if it works. And I got to make sure, Brock Lesnar gets the number one spot and that sort of stuff. I haven't done any of that shit. I've never. I think I winged it last year. Yeah. Hey, you ever been doing this for like a year, man? Like almost just past. Because I think episode 6 or 5 was the Rumble. So there you go. Hey, everyone. 12 months of talking the wrestling.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I was looking at that the other day. I was like, it's been a year already.
Yeah, scary. Wow. Scary shit. Hey, Benjamin.
Yeah, good, man. Just kicking along day by day. A little bit sick at the moment, but I'm getting there. How about you?
In this week's episode of Raw, in this week, so as I said, this is our Raw breakdown analysis. Now, Jem, you have frozen once again, but you've frozen, given the most tremendous smile. It's gone. Damn. Everyone had a moment with like Jem smiling at you. Don't you feel better about your day?
Yeah.
Sadly, it was only seconds. Hey, my dad's ringing me, so I can't look at my notes. Hey, Jem, can you please start the show?
Help. So where should we start? I reckon first place and the best thing to get out of the way would probably be getting a bit ranty.
Yeah, so look, this week's episode of Raw, pretty good. Like easily 2/3 of it, 75% of it was just killer. It was actually really good. So let's get all the shitty things out of the way, because there's still 25%, 30% of crap. But let's go through that now so we can just gush about the back half.
Okay, so first things first, Aleister Black. Last week we saw him in this amazing bout with Buddy Murphy.
3 times.
but still amazing every time. And now that Buddy Murphy is part of the Monday Night Messiah, they just brought a jobber back in. And the match was done in 3 seconds with a black mass. And that, I know what they're trying to do there, but it fell short. Like, I know, like, we know Aleister Black is strong. We know he can do this. Put him against other opponents. There are people there like Mojo Rawley or the Singh brothers or R-Truth. R-Truth doesn't have a title at the moment. Put him in a match. Like, but no, it has to be like old mate Jeff from, you know, the beer hall down the street doing the indie shows. Like,
now, we understand it would deliver the exact same result whether it was a rando or one of the lower mid-carders, right? But
I feel like
it's more about the connection.
Stronger. But yeah, I think that's the thing as well. It's like Aleister Black is asking people to pick a fight with him. Like, you know, there's so many people in the locker room that are available to do that. Like, I doubt this guy's come in like, hey, I'm going to pick a fight with Aleister Black. Like, I wouldn't. But I know, like, you know, R-Truth might want to because he was going to enter the Rumble to face Paul Heyman. Like, why wouldn't he try and fight Aleister Black? Like,
it is disappointing that this awesome stretch with Buddy versus Aleister. And Buddy lost the 3, but he's in a better position now.
Exactly it.
So it is very interesting because, you know, if wins and losses matter, which they don't really matter here in WWE, but okay, it is a little bit disappointing that, like, what's else going to... This looked to be the feud to set them both up. Like, even though there had to be a winner and had to be a loser, the potential for both of them to come out and do something cool was almost wasted.
Yeah.
I say wasted only because, like, Aleister Black, I'm like, yes, I got the win. Now what do I do?
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost like that dog
like
the dog that chased the car, chasing the tire, finally gets the tire. It's like, what am I going to do with the tire?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a total bummer because it really doesn't, like, we know how strong Aleister Black is as a competitor, and, like, knocking someone out in 3 seconds, like, sure, it's an awesome feat, but it really doesn't show how strong he is and how much he's got to give. And that bums me out because I want to see Aleister Black in more competition like we've seen with Buddy Murphy. I want to see that. You know, that's what makes the show great. And, you know, what do we get? Like, him sitting there for longer than the match went for.
Yeah, that was a bit odd.
Total bummer. And it's the same with the whole Eric Rowan thing.
Yeah.
It's like... Obviously, like, again, this is another, like, this week we actually saw him in competition against somebody. I think this is the second time he's taken on Matt Hardy. I feel like he's done this before. Unless it was somebody else. But I remember Matt Hardy facing someone. Anyway, who cares? It doesn't matter.
Possibly. Like Matt Hardy took a kicking from someone else.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to think. Was it him? But still, like, at least Rowan's facing somebody on the roster.
Correct.
Like, you could have easily put Aleister with Matt Hardy. That would have been awesome, you know? But no, this is what we're you know, stuck with. Like, it was awesome to see Eric Rowan facing somebody formidable, but it was also like, you know, it's a repeat of last week with his hand getting bitten and stuff like that. Like, we've already seen this. Like, apart from him shaking the cage really aggressively, which is like, you're going to kill that thing. Like, are you even going to have that container next week? Like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I don't care what's in it anymore.
Yeah, look, I didn't care from the beginning because I thought it was dumb, and it's still dumb. And, like, we're like, more long-term storytelling. That doesn't mean 6 weeks of whatever the fuck this is. Like, it's a real difficult thing. Like, unless he uses that, like, rabid raccoon in there to, like, take someone out, I don't fucking care.
Right. Imagine if it was Rambling Rabbit in there. Like, even though Rambling Rabbit's SmackDown, like, could you imagine if that little dude was in there, just like some evil, like, crazy thing, like, and then it somehow ties, like, Rowan back into that side of the world. Like, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
That's not going to happen because they're on
no
different brands, but, like, imagine if you had something like that, but it's not going to be that, and that bums me out.
Yeah, whatever's in there, I guarantee you will be disappointing. And that's the crap thing, to be honest. Like, that's the poo thing. It will be poo in there. Yeah. If it's actual poo in there, and like Mojo is like, why do you have shit? Why do you have two cartoon swirly poos in that cage?
Right. And how do they bite?
Yeah. And did he touch it? And, oh, the shit on my hand, and then he like fell backwards. Is that what happened?
maybe touching other people on the face with his pooey hands.
That's right. It's the only it's the only option of what can be in that cage. There's nothing good in that cage.
Yeah, it has to be.
But what's really bumming me out, how this Matt Hardy's been treated.
Yeah. 100%.
Ever since Jeff got injured and then DUI'd, like, Matt's been given a really, really rough time. Oh, yeah, he's always DUI'd. Yeah, so as a big Hardy boy yourself.
It really does bum me out because, I'm psyched to hear that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Like, that's super exciting. And I'm sure he'll have his moment to shine. He's done plenty of them. But I think, it definitely bums me out that Matt's just sort of not performing to the standard that he can. Like, I know he's a super talented wrestler. And, like, don't get me wrong. Like, he had his moments in this match. But ultimately, it was just, Eric Rowan's just too big. Like, put him against somebody his own size and he'll kick some ass.
Yeah, but it's just Matt, like, if you check out Matt's Twitter, he's very heavily alluding he's just running out his contract, and he is out because apparently there was reports. Now, Dirt Sheet Dash over here can double check it for me. The rumor mill was that he wanted to bring the Woken/Broken character back, and
which
they
would have been amazing.
said no.
Nope, they want version 2 Hardy.
Yep.
Which I love, but it's not the right time for that.
Yeah.
You know, version 2 is done and there needs to be something new. And the Woken Broken Hardy is probably his best.
Yeah, big time.
And he would have been amazing, but, you know, it sucks.
Because if you think about it that way, like if you get a character like Matt Hardy and, you know, he does happen to make the trip over to, let's say, just because everyone says it, AEW. What if he goes over there? Yeah, next thing you know, he's in the Dark Order or something, you know, like... You're
Which would be amazing.
Something like that, like just to help get the Dark over. Wouldn't that be cool? Dark Order over, sorry.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Sure. It'd be interesting to see if that happens because it is most likely he will go somewhere. Impact's kind of in the bum. Ring of Honor's around.
Yeah. And and it bums me out because he's not the only one suffering from this. Like, it seems to be that, you know, I guess not, like, they are super talented people. They're just not being handled properly or, you know, not, like, getting the right opportunities. And it feels the exact same with the Street Profits.
100%.
Yeah. I was so bummed out when they did that, like, the Monday after.
Sorry, just to add one thing. Champion Gamer in the chat does confirm that Matt Hardy's contract does end in March. Right around the corner. Beautiful. So 2 months and he presumably is done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Monday after the weekend, whatever update, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the Monday after, whatever it is. Yeah, it's stupid. It's so stupid because like when they're doing those sorts of things, I love that they do like the backstage when they're standing there with their cups and just going through things. I don't like the whole like news segment thing. In saying that, like you could have had one of them against Aleister Black. Like they're back here doing this. Like you could have had them in a match. Like that would have been amazing.
The difference here is they're not losing. In terms of matches, they're not losing. And that'd be the one thing.
But how many matches have they had? That's the problem that I have here.
Good handful.
Yeah, they've had like maybe 2 or 3 though. Yeah. Like it's not that much, and I want to see more of them.
Well, because there was that little build up about them being the ones that have taken out the OC, the ones that have taken out. You know, they didn't mention the Viking Raiders, but like sort of setting them up to be in a title picture. And then as we get to later, that kind of has gone down the drain a little bit. However, the issue, like this segment, if done correctly, could really land.
It could.
Like it's jokes are cool, like silly little, like they have the right charm and charisma to deliver something like this. Hilarious. The reboot thing I enjoyed because that was a pretty well written joke. It wasn't brilliant, but it was okay. And like, but the difficulty is they're trying to do SNL style skits without the writing talent of SNL. And I'm not saying SNL, not everything SNL lands either, but they're safe. The jokes are too safe.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, and they just don't really land. Like with the idea of Paul Heyman would demolish a shrimp, a big old bucket of shrimp. Is it because he's fat? Is that it? Is that all he got?
Yeah. I was really confused about that as well. I don't know. It's just
the reboot one. It totally worked. It's like why would we go? Like why should people go back to the well? WWE 7 hours a week. No back to the well. We are kicking the butt. Oh shit! No, we're going back to the well. All right, reboots are suddenly really cool. That was cool. Yeah. I dug that. Like that was pretty tidy. It could have done.
I did like the joke about like using the same picture. They're like they got the picture of the Miz and John Morrison, and they're like, oh, somebody put up an updated picture, and it's the same picture. Yeah. Like, oh shit! It's funny because it's true. Yeah. Like that's what makes the joke.
And but it's still. I felt if they got pushed one more line, like it would have landed better. Or maybe tweaked it a little bit. There could have been delivery too. Like Montez is the more charming of the two.
He is.
But I feel like it might be a writing issue. I can't write for shit. I'm not fucking funny. But the point I'm making is that could be slightly altered, and I reckon those scenes could land every week.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree there. And
well, let's go from one sucky thing that, if done correctly, probably could have landed, and that is the Bobby Lashley, Lana, Rusev, Liv Morgan thing that's still going on.
Oh my god!
So we are now in year 7 of this storyline.
Yes.
So this did main the show. It came up at the beginning. It was mixed tag team match.
Very disappointing main event. Hate to say it, but
very much so
disappointing. I still don't understand how Liv fits into this picture, and that pisses me off. Like, she's been here for 3-4 weeks now. Like, why the hell is she here? Like, answers. Like, you keep dragging it out. Like, this whole Eric Warren thing, I'm going to lose interest. I already have. Like, I don't care why she's here anymore. Like, you should have just told us why in the first place.
Yeah, well...
Like, it's not clear, and it's annoying. Like,
the difficulty is, so Liv took some time away to sort of look introspective and try to find herself. And you're frozen, by the way, but it'll kick in and come back and say, I can still hear you just fine. So she's gone off to find herself. She's looking within. Little did she know she was going to find herself in a shitty story. But it's such a bummer because this potential new story or this new version of Liv Morgan, which is no longer the juvenile delinquent or whatever. Like, it's good. Like, it's great that there's that change and it's been switched up. However, it's just disappointing for it to come out this way. And on top of this, it's not delivering results.
I mean, she's gorgeous as shit. And man, like, I really enjoyed watching her and Lana wrestle. Like, we haven't seen those two wrestle in a long time. So that was awesome. Especially with them starting the match. But it just... It's not, I don't understand, so I don't care. Like, if she had to just come out and said, like, you know, like, Lana and I were lovers, I would have been way more engaged than I am now. Like, I'm sick of...
Well, she did. That's what she implied.
That's what she implied, but there's no actual answer. You know? There's no, like, you know, it's not like that, or if Lana was just her best friend and her self-helper, like her, you know, or what. Like, it's just... Like I said, it's like the thing in the cage. Like, I just don't care anymore. Like, just get this off. Go away.
Yeah, the difficulty here is that, like, it already kind of put, like... Let's look at Rusev, right? Let's look at Rusev and his motivations here. What are his motivations to continue, right?
There's none.
He's had a couple of beatdowns on Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's got to remember him a couple of times. He's no longer fighting for Lana. He doesn't give a shit. Like, the way he portrays himself, he doesn't give a shit about Lana, right? So what's within his interest to keep pursuing this fight?
That's the thing. And yeah, like, why is, like, Lana's done. She's moved on. She's with Bobby. Why does she keep instigating this?
Well, it's because she's one of those hateful women, like, full of hate.
Yes.
And for that reason, so it's one of those that will never let it go.
Yeah.
You know, there are people like that. There are husbands and wives, and that one of them will hate the other person till the end of time.
Yeah.
So, like, that part's pretty real. But,
yeah.
You know, just...
Yeah. But in the same respect as well, like, how many more times can Rusev lose to Bobby Lashley? Like,
what was that, sorry?
How many more times can Rusev lose to Bobby Lashley? Like, he's already lost, like, I think every match they've had.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So why would he still want to do this? Like, it's very clear that Bobby Lashley is the better man.
Stephen in the chat goes, she just wants to keep saying his name in Russian. Rusev.
Hey, you can roll your eyes.
Hey, only on Rusev though. That's gone now. I can't do it again.
Andrade.
Your camera wigged out there for a second, so Champion Gamer jumped in. It went pitch black and then came back out of nowhere. There goes Jem's camera nearly did a Fiend segment just then. It did. It went frozen for a while, then it jittered, then you were gone. It was all black. Next thing you'll come up and you're behind me, and then I get Mandible Clawed on camera. Like,
oops, I slipped.
Yeah, yeah, and then you do a show with yourself, but from 2 locations. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and one's like really happy and the other one's just breathing heavy.
But Champion Gamer does jump in and add those. By the way, Lana has improved a lot in the ring. Now, since
100%.
since I have come back, I dived heavy into wrestling. Like this, this is a year and a half ago now. I haven't seen her in the ring. Like her last time I saw her near a ring was
around about this time of year.
Was Rumble last year, where she got jacked up and her leg was all injured. And she couldn't get in, so Becky stole her spot.
Yeah.
And then until today.
Yeah, because didn't she get like pushed off the ring or something like that, and that's how she jacked her leg up?
Someone got spear tackled and rocked her off the side of the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like a year before she's been in the ring.
So Champion adds that last time we saw her, it was pretty bad and sloppy. Couldn't understand why they put her back in as a valet for the ring.
Yeah. I don't know.
So where do you see this going for Liv Morgan? Because that's the disappointing thing right now, is like Liv is in this really crappy middle ground. Like she
was set up for this big comeback, and it's just falling short with this. And I honestly don't know where it's going to go for her.
Yeah.
I don't. I think they'll both end up entering the Women's Royal Rumble, and there'll be like a decent little like punch on there. But I honestly don't see it extending much past that, and I don't see Liv extending much past that.
Well, yeah, because the thing where it's at right now, like Lana is connected to Bobby. Like everything we've seen for the last whatever is Bobby and Lana. Period. Like we've never seen them separate aside from matches with Rusev, and even then Lana's always been there. So it's not as if we're suddenly going to get this Lana Liv exclusive feud, right? For some reason, they have to tie Rusev into it and tie Bobby Lashley into it, which I don't understand. If anything, Bobby and Rusev should never meet again for like 6 months plus. Like, there's no reason for them to be anywhere near each other currently. Because, as we said, Bobby has won. He's got the girl. He's won the matches. Rusev needs to do fucking anything else.
100%.
Because in terms of motivation, like what is there?
Put Rusev against Aleister Black. That'd be mad.
Yeah, it'd be great, actually. It'd be really cool.
Oh.
Watch that in a heartbeat. Moving on, though, because now that we've got all the shitty things out of the way from this episode of Raw, let's get into what was fucking awesome about this week. And that's pretty much the rest of it.
Except for the 24/7 championship.
Oh, yeah, Mojo Raleigh has these fought the Singh brothers. All right, keep going. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Move on.
Moving on. Let's just go fucking hard. Let's go hard. Let's go meat on meat action. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, in an absolute ripper.
This is wrestling at its finest. One thing I did love is that before the match, like Randy Orton was mentioning how phenomenal Drew McIntyre is as a superstar. He's just not Randy Orton. But he's like, he's got one hell of a chop. And then later in the match, Drew McIntyre delivers a vicious chop and Randy's like stunned. He's just standing there glaring into the like.
Well, that was the best string from a couple of months ago when they maybe in Survivor Series or
I know,
was it Survivor
and
Series?
that's the perfect like long-term storytelling that came out months ago and it's still going on.
No, it wasn't Survivor Series because that was Drew and Walter giving the chop off, so it was before that.
It was before, and it's amazing that they're still talking about that. That was just the coolest.
But this is absolutely brilliant. So like this is. Because look, I was having a discussion with this today, right? So, yesterday. So, Randy Orton, in all his sexual goodness, as you would say, Jem, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit about Rumble. He doesn't give about winning. He just does what he wants. So, what he's doing right now, he's like, well, who's the guy that I can fuck with? I can fuck with Drew. I'm going to fuck with Drew. And that's kind of where he's at. And what I love this is getting Drew across. This is giving Drew time. So whatever the outcome of this is, Randy's always going to look good. So if anything, he's putting him over. He's pulling him up to the level of Randy Orton, which I really like.
I believe Drew McIntyre is already on that level, but he hasn't had an opponent that's been able to bring that out in him, not like Randy does. Like, those two in the ring are just a phenomenal force, and they give each other 110%, and it's amazing. They're both ridiculously good athletes. Like, the RKO is just a beautiful, quick, like, sudden move that's absolutely devastating. So is a Claymore kick. It just comes out of nowhere, and next minute the guy's head's off, and Drew McIntyre's just standing there.
Yeah.
It's really cool that he counts his Claymore kick in now. I thought that was
I did enjoy that little touch. It was very good.
Yeah,
that
was really nice. My concern with this, though, is this going to be a long-term feud, or is this just...
Look, it's not a long-term feud. Want to know why? Because Drew McIntyre's winning that fucking Rumble. He doesn't have time for He doesn't have time for Randy Orton when he's rocking that that WrestleMania shot.
Yeah. During the match, obviously, the OC did come out. Do you think, obviously, Randy grabbed a chair, he helped out Drew McIntyre while he was getting bombarded. Do you think that maybe there could, even though Randy, after all of this, ended up RKOing him suddenly, do you think this is Randy's way of building alliances?
Well, as I said, I think this is that friendly ribbing. So as I said, so Randy is pulling Drew up. He's like, well, I want to give him a go. I can take him on. I want to bring him up. That's what he's doing. Although they're feuding right now, and I think Drew at least believes that this is legit. Randy's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm here just to have fun. You deliver killer matches. And that's the thing. It got that weird thing when AJ and the crew got in. He's like, no, fuck off. This is... You know.
And he even said to him, he said something along the lines of, you're once tough SOB or something like that to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, and it's that respect. These are those awesome matches where both people respect each other, and then they deliver killer matches. Because this is the thing. And as you said, this is a very old school type match. It was very old wrestling, which is rad. But on top of that only comes from two people that aren't fighting emotionally. They're fighting with intellect. They're fighting with planning. And that comes from taking that emotion away. When you see these feuds, an example, even Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, or Rey Mysterio and Brock is probably the most recent example. Rey was fueled on so much emotion, it left him open. Because he wasn't planning ahead. He was just swinging and going for the punches. And in turn, that's what brought him down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, these two are very methodical in what they do.
Exactly.
Picking each other apart, essentially, which is really cool to watch.
And that's brilliant. That makes excellent matches. Now, we don't talk a lot about the matchy style of things here. It's for us, it's the story. But the story within this match is fucking brilliant.
The storytelling is in the match. That's the thing. This is what wrestling is. Your storytelling is in the ring, not just outside it. And even though they were telling stories outside of the ring as well, the whole culmination of it is telling that story in the ring as well. And this is that perfect storytelling of they know they're equals and they're trying to just one up each other constantly. And it's just the coolest, it was the coolest. Honestly, I was glued to that entire match.
Big time.
Couldn't look away because it's just two, they're same height, basically same build. It's just the same thing. It's just going head to head and just different ways of picking each other apart. And it was just, beautiful. Beautiful.
So Champion Gamer in the chat jumps in, goes with Randy Orton. This cheeky and smart-ass version of him, finally seeing a new fresh character here, and he's having fun, and the crowd is vibing off it totally.
Yeah.
He goes, I've been complaining that Randy has been dry for a long time, but this is good for him. It is fun.
100%.
Yeah, man.
Especially with as he was hanging on the ropes, everybody's screaming RKO, and Randy's just sort of sitting there almost shaking his head nah, and then he's screw it, and does it.
Yeah, even when he was getting ready for that draping DDT, and he's getting all kind of crazy.
Big old grin on his face, yeah. 'Cause he knows we want it.
I'm just going to put it out there. Best name I've seen on Twitch in a very long time. Fluffman Dingus.
Hey, Fluffman, hi!
Do you know Fluffman?
I know the Fluff Man.
Oh, I'm just enjoying the name. The name's fantastic. Thank you for the follow, Fluff Man Dingus. And they also add that they are loving the new Randy.
Yeah, good. We're all on the same page. I like that.
And Dash says this. I think this is something that's made him re-sign because he was bored, and like we saw that.
Yeah.
Like you can tell when Randy's not in it. Like we looked at Kofi, he wasn't in it. Like everything he's done for a good window of time up until now, he has been. Yeah, but now he's found that match. He's finding that fun, and he's giving it a red hot go. Yeah, speaking of finding their match. Let's talk about the United States Championship match this week between Andrade and Rey Mysterio.
Okay, so can anybody let me know, is Andrade still alive?
I don't know. I think he may be paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah.
But
I just hope to Christ he isn't dead, because my God, his neck hit that ladder so hard.
This was exceptional.
Ridiculous.
Exceptional.
So damn good.
I'm just having a drink.
So I wasn't too hyped about this match because I was like, ladder match, Andrade, Rey. But then sort of when I put it together, I was like, hold on, 2 high flyers, jumping on and off ladders, throwing each other on and off ladders. I was like, holy crap, this is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Like the start of the match, like when you talk about being emotionally fueled, like I suppose it depends on what that circumstance is for Rey Mysterio, because in this one, he's obviously fueled by the whole having his mask taken off and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But he was one step ahead of Andrade straight away when he jumped out the ring to grab a ladder and then psyched Andrade out and ran back in and baseball slide kicked the ladder into Andrade's
Loved
face.
it. Beautiful.
Killer spot. That was perfect. That was like Rey being Rey. That was that like 2 steps ahead, like, and not just, doing something stupid. That was awesome. This match was just go, go, go the entire time. Like, it was phenomenal. Even when, I don't know what I was expecting, where I knew Zelina would interject. I didn't know where, but seeing her run up that ladder and sit on the top of it, that was freaking cool.
That was very cool.
I was not expecting that from her. That was awesome. I don't know what else to say. I am just in awe of how amazing this match was, and it really elevated the whole show. Yeah,
it was a really good way to kick. So although it didn't kick off the show, because we did have some Seth Rollins stuff to bring it in, but when this came in, it was good. I was lying on the couch, and normally I've watched enough wrestling that I don't really feel the quote unquote hype as much anymore. Even though it's only been a year and a half. But I was it was weird. I don't know if it was how it was shot. I don't know what it was. But for this episode, this week, I was feeling it. The second it kicked in with all the pyro and as in the fire pyro, then the pyrotechnics, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm already in. And then the Seth Rollins bit was really good, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. And then it went into to this, and then I was actually feeling the hype of the intro, of the Rey's intro, and then he coming talking to people in the crowd, and then Andrade's music hit, and I'm like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen? I don't know what it was. I think I knew in my heart that Andrade would come out the victor here.
Yeah.
However, part of me was like, that motivation from losing that mask could be enough to push.
Yeah.
To push him over that line, you know what I mean? To get Rey to get that win. But
100%.
In no way did I expect as hard as we went here. So with Rey, so prone to injury, I was like, he's not going to go hard here. But holy fuck, did he go hard. There were just spots everywhere.
Yeah, and these two are, again, equally matched, like Drew and Randy. They come from the same background. They do a lot of the same style. The only difference is Andrade is 7 foot taller than Rey.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it any difference. That whole, everything. It goes to show that Rey does still have it. Even though he is our older generation of superstar, he's still so badass, and he can still move so quickly and so agile, and he's so strong. And seeing the same styles clash is always like an explosion, putting fire on fire just makes it get bigger. It just blows everything up. And it was, again, just the perfect match to watch, but completely different to Drew and Randy in the sense that this was more high flying and more agile. It was less hard hitting and slower movement. So it was just awesome that we got to see a little bit of everything this week.
Big time. So thank you. Champion's bouncing out. Thank you, Champion, for swinging by. But I think that's just spot on, because maybe that's why I enjoyed this the most, right? So this episode specifically, because we got talking at the front. Talking was good. Got a high, a sort of a more spot fest match. Loved it.
Yeah.
And then we go to the more like, old school wrestling
Slugfest,
match.
yeah.
Love it. Like, it's that nice amount of
Crowd's
variety.
hyped the entire
Dude, the
time,
crowd
too.
was going bonkers, man. And like, I was feeling it. So when that first kind of throw at Andrade next that ladder, like Jesus, and then we see the three amigos onto a ladder blowing apart the lower back of Rey Mysterio. We then see just a varying drops onto different ladders, and then we see that hammerlock DDT into the ladder, and that's what gets Andrade the win and allows him to climb up to the top because fucking Rey was dead. Like, that hammerlock push kicks him out of the way, gets up, Rey didn't move. Like, as he's climbing that ladder, rocking the ring everywhere because there's just ladders, nah. He is out. He's dead. Beautiful. I can't... It was so enjoyable. It was absolutely enjoyable, front to back. Now, because I did watch it in an ad-free in an ad-free version, so I think that helped by not having that break of the ads. It allowed me to really engage, and knowing the crowd are in it, and you like, normally I'm always worried they pipe in crowd noise, but you can see the crowd on their feet, they're up and yelling, and as Fluffman Dingus in the chat jumps and goes, best crowd Raw has had in a very long time, and that bitch was full. Like, they did a big long shot later on in the night, and that arena is pretty chock.
Full.
So like, they were going nuts. It was absolutely awesome. It felt good. It felt like something about this episode made me feel like I imagine this is even a minor of what like wrestling in its heyday felt like. Because I felt enjoyment the whole way through, like I said, up until those couple little things. But like that first 2/3, I was on the edge of my seat. I was pumped. I was hyped. I didn't want to go to bed. I was just watching it. You know what I mean? It was just... It's such a good, like, I wouldn't, euphoric's not the right word, but it was like I was engaged, and I haven't been that in a very long time.
Yeah, and like I was the same. I've been like pretty sick all day, so I was laying in bed like hunched up, like trying not to vomit everywhere. And I don't know why, but like I guess because it was so hyped. Like I was in bed and I was just like hyped. I started to feel better. I was like, fuck yeah, like. I was just feeling so good about it because it really does, like, when something's so engaging and you get into it so well, it really does it gets everything running. Your endorphins do start running. You start getting real hyped about it and you're like, yeah, you just want to get up and punch something. Like.
But I think what made both this and the Drew McIntyre match even better is it's two legends working with new guys and giving those new guys a run for their money. That's probably what I think. That's why I like that as well. Additionally,
and speaking of new guys, at the end of the match, Zelina does pull up part of the flooring to basically like what Andrade did to Humberto Carrillo, like try and rack him on the concrete, and then out of nowhere, some tall dude in a lucha mask shows up, rips off this purple like Rey Mysterio lucha mark, and it's Humberto, and like. Does whatever he needs to do to Andrade, who goes running and takes care of Rey. I was hyped for this. I was so hyped for it. I think this is the end of Rey and Andrade.
100%. This is done. Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe we are moving into Andrade versus Humberto. And
I think,
which I am excited about.
And I think this is one of those situations where it worked well, right? So like Rey was there to we'll look some assumptions here. He was originally trying to get some work done with Humberto, try to put him in a good spot. Didn't work. Andrade wrecked that shit. Came in, wrecked Humberto, got him away. So that forced Rey to look towards Andrade as sort of a place to be, right?
Yeah.
We're at that now. That time away from Humberto made us sort of allowed Rey and Andrade to deliver this lucha libre style wrestling. Everyone's like, yeah, I want this. Give me this. And then like, okay, here's a new guy that could do it faster. And you know, like, oh, okay.
Taller and more handsome with his.
He's taller. He's got the dimps. You know, it's like, all right, cool. Well, we know Andrade's a fucking ripper. Let's see what Carrillo can do. Like, it's brilliant little setup, and I think with Carrillo having that time away, well, he was injured, so that's fucked. But, you know, calm the dimps, says Dingus in the chat. Yeah, so the potential for where this can go, I think is very good. I love it a lot.
I think it'd be awesome.
Let's have a quick chat about the continuation as we head into Rumble with Becky Lynch with she had a match with Kairi Sane.
She had a match with Kairi Sane, yes. So the best part about all of this is before the match, Charlotte Flair is getting interviewed. And she's like, I believe her name's Sarah. She's like, last year you had the most eliminations in the Rumble match, but you did come out second. And Charlotte's like, somebody who wasn't even supposed to be in the match, and Becky Lynch just pops up and shoves her face in the shot. And Charlotte's like, yes. And she just smiles and walks away. That was golden. That's the Becky that I miss. The real cheeky, real funny, real silly Becky. We haven't seen that for a while. I don't know where Kairi Sane fits in to all of this. We know that Becky is facing Asuka at Royal Rumble for her title. We know that Becky and Asuka are feuding. I don't understand where Kairi fits into this, and I feel like she's getting a little bit lost by Asuka and Kairi's feud. So, Asuka and Becky's feud, sorry. So, for instance, if we look at Lacey Evans, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, Bayley and Sasha are both very prevalent in this, whereas Kairi's just sort of in the background. It felt...
But I think it's having the exact same issue that the Lacey is having, right? It's who is she feuding with? Which one?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, well, you're spending a lot of time with the one that isn't the champion, which in Lacey's case. You're spending a lot of time with Sasha. Why are you caring about Sasha? And it's like, hey, Becky, you're spending not a little amount of time with Kairi, for Asuka. This is a bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Asuka does say after some very heavy, yelly Japanese screaming at the announcer, she does go, Becky is not ready for Asuka. Yeah. Which was interesting to hear, definitely. But yeah, I don't know. I love Asuka versus Becky because they're both very passionate superstars, and we're seeing how passionate and how serious Asuka is about this. But at the same time, what about the tag team titles?
That is the problem. These titles are buried within this feud, which sucks. However,
yeah, because it's bringing the women's championship to light, not the tag team.
What else are they going to do? If you have a look around, what other we haven't seen the Iconics in fucking forever. Are they going to just throw Natalia and Naomi together or something? Well, we haven't seen Naomi in forever. Dana Brooke and some rando. The women's tag team division has 100% been lost. It can go across all these brands. Don't fucking care because it's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? The sheen of these belts has gone. It's lost.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to see them. Over on back on Alexa and Nikki, or even I'd be interested to see the tag team titles on Fire and Desire. Anything right now would be nice instead of seeing them lost on this feud with Becky. Becky versus the Kabuki Warriors.
Well, as Dash says in the chat, there are not enough women for a tag title, and there never was. And I think it's correct. However, what I would like to see is put those belts down in NXT. Who give them to someone, I don't know who's a pairing down there, fucking someone, right? Give them to them. Yeah. And then that gives some exposure. If NXT is the third brand that it claims to be, let's do that. Let them go across Raw and SmackDown because their touring schedule is less, therefore they could do that without too much of a concern. Put it in NXT. We were promised that they would get that NXT would get a go, and it hasn't happened yet. And both Asuka, who had, I think, maybe even been undefeated in NXT, and Kairi, who had a ripper run as a female tag team with the Sky Pirates, wouldn't that be amazing to have them go in there? But when I say, because Dash goes, there are too many belts in NXT. Yes, but this isn't about, these belts will not be hanging around
exclusive.
NXT.
They'll be floating around the three brands.
That's true. NXT, although it has those belts, they're down there, right? But the idea is we're not going to see them be defended at NXT. We are seeing them on Raw and SmackDown. Maybe once down there. But majority of them, we will see them up here.
Yeah, which will be awesome. Because then that brings more light to NXT too. And it solidifies them as that third brand. Yeah. But no, don't get me wrong. I'm really excited to see Asuka versus Becky. They're both looking very strong. I think it's going to be a really damn good match. So long as Kairi doesn't get involved. Which she will. But no, other than that, I think, I really do believe those tag titles are in jeopardy and we'll lose them sooner rather than later.
Big time. Dash says NXT is still developmental as much as they say it's not. That's very true. However, I think there are some select women in there that could benefit from the bump. If they're willing to bring them up to even be smushed by like Charlotte or whatever in a random match, give them a go.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Just give them a go.
Which is what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks, and that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Because once again, if they want to solidify this image that, you know, because right now the NXT women's roster is fucking brilliant. Mm-hmm. Like, just take two of them. Just take them away for a little bit. Throw them over there. Like, who isn't got a story right now? Like, we haven't seen Mia Yim in a while. Granted, last time we saw her, she got fucking exploded through a ladder and probably died. But grab her, grab some other heel person and send them out and about. Just get them to cause havoc around the roster. It should be awesome. Yes, there are 16 NXT women. Yeah, that's fine. There's like 4 on main roster across 2 shows. That's fine.
Yeah.
4 are injured. Oh.
Well then.
Yeah, like I'm trying to put a different look on these belts because right now they're doing nothing, and you know, like the Iconics happen to be the longest running, but probably not anymore, just by being there.
But it's tricky as well because obviously we do have a lot of injury out at the moment, you know, with the likes of like say Nia Jax and Sarah Ruby Riott and stuff like that. Like, could they be making a comeback with, you know, say Sarah Logan, for instance, because Liv Morgan's wrapped up in whatever she's doing, and then
but even then, like Liv's story's not going to do a whole lot. Get her back with like Ruby Riott was a good connector amongst the two. Yeah. Just put the two of them together. Give them a bell.
Yeah, exactly it. And then like you know, it'd be interesting to see, you know, Nia Jax and Tamina take on the tag team titles.
Yeah, man. There's another 2.
Really cool to see. I guess, you know, at the moment, like, yeah, it's just in a little bit of a lull, but, you know, what can you do?
But, yeah, look, Dash mentioned NXT. There's a bunch of women, but we rarely get to see any of them. And okay. But speaking of rarely getting to see anyone, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
He makes an appearance today. He did today in this week's episode. He made his appearance last week, so he's like 2 for 2. What a champ. But he comes in solidifying the point with Paul Heyman that no one on the Raw, SmackDown, whoever's roster, no one is within a place to take on Brock Lesnar. No one will eliminate him. He's too good.
Yeah.
However, during this whole spiel, which I enjoyed, and Paul Heyman's fun, Ricochet comes out and is like, "Hey, I'm worthy. I'll take you." I'm like, "No, you're fucking not, mate."
Yeah.
Like, Ricochet, like, you are good and you do some cool shit, but it's not you, mate. It's not you.
Yeah. I was very, like, look, I get where Ricochet's coming from. He's playing the whole, like, no fear card. He's not afraid, unlike some people who sound like they are. Cough, truth, cough. Soup Fall City. Sorry, that made me laugh so much. But yeah, I was definitely like, Ricochet, like, you're making a big mistake here, dude. Don't do this to yourself. And granted, he made a big mistake because he got low blow.
Yeah, he comes in the ring and he's like, "Hey, Brock Lesnar, what?" And then he gets kicked right in the dicochet. Like, it was hard. He just gets dropped. Steven in the chat also adds, as much as I like Ricochet, he's not Lesnar level just yet. And Fluffman Dingus adds, he probably won't show for the Royal Rumble now. 3 for 3 is a big ask.
Dickish.
Yeah, he rocked that. He rocked that shit. He down.
I'm sorry. That was great. Oh my god. Yeah, look, I definitely think it was a dumb move on Ricochet. I don't know. I am starting to believe that Brock Lesnar could possibly take out 29 other guys.
I just want to see him wrestle himself.
Yeah, I'm very Paul Heyman's making a very convincing argument. But in the same time, I have my concerns that maybe Paul Heyman is going to have some sort of hand in all of this to ensure that his client, the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, to make sure that he gets that win.
Well, that's for a laugh. Let's feed into that narrative, all right? So let's feed into the narrative that Brock eliminates everybody and he comes out the victor. He's got no one to fight. But then, imagine someone does come in shortly after and fucks him up.
Yeah.
So, like, although he won the Rumble, he gets fucked up by someone. Wouldn't that make that person look even better?
Yeah. Yeah, and that person can play the whole, like, you claim nobody's worthy, but I am card.
Yeah, like, I didn't eliminate you because some other prick eliminated me, but I wrecked you. And then, like, Brock Lesnar's lying in his own shit and piss, and this person's standing tall. And it's not...
And you know what?
And it's not Cain Velasquez.
Nah. I could see, honestly, something like that happening with, like, say, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. So Stephen asks in the chat, if there's one person to eliminate Lesnar, who would you want it to be? Drew, main roster, McIntyre. I think McIntyre would totally good that. However, my second option is bask in his glory. Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Okay. Only because I want to see him fucking spirit bomb Brock Lesnar at Mania. That's what I want to see. Just Ricky's Day. That's what I want to see. But I think it'd have to be someone like that, right? That's probably the only way to go about it. It just like it would. This is whoever does eliminate Brock. Whoever eliminates Brock will be like that is their moment. They will be so over that they are going to Mania.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome. Like they may not win at Mania, which I think depends where they're going to go, or whether they want to go. But that story up until Mania is going to be bonkers good. Because the problem with Brock, we never see him, so all we do is get someone just like out there calling him out, giving him shit, just like building up that stuff, and maybe Brock does come out and he decks him a little bit. And then some comes. But this is the problem. Like this is looking at Brock Lesnar the way that no one else looks Brock Lesnar. Like in terms of the writing team, right? Like the way it currently stands, Brock is undefeatable, and the only way Seth did it by kicking him in the dick. You know, like that's the only way that went down. So there is no way that that there will be a position to have Brock lose clean. It's not going to happen. Yeah, and that breaks my heart. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Because
it'll be interesting to see how it pans out, though.
Whoever does that is going to look like hot shit. It's going to look so good, and I can't wait. Let us know in the chat who you think will eliminate Brock Lesnar. Let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, because even if it's like in the final three, right? It's Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Keith Lee. Everyone expects Roman to be at least up the back end here. You know, most eliminations ever, that sort of stuff. Keith Lee would be awesome because we get to see Keith Roman again from Survivor Series. I also want to see Keith versus Brock. I think people would like to see, you know, Roman versus Brock is like, you know, Vince McMahon wet dream. And Keith Lee kind of feels that wet dreaminess of Vince McMahon. So if anything, it's a perfect little three-way.
Yeah, definitely.
Steven agrees with that point, by the way.
Yeah, same. For sure.
But let's get into the final hunk of this night. When we have a look at what's going on with the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, and his disciples, the AOP, and his new disciple, Buddy Murphy.
His new buddy friend.
His new buddy friend.
His friend guy. So this is interesting because one thing that we haven't seen that seems to be becoming more and more present in the WWE is factions.
Yes, I was so wet when I thought about this. I'm like, oh, this is a faction. Yes.
Yeah, this is 100% a new faction. It is the faction of the Monday Night Messiah. You know, and I'm really you know, if you're not with us, you're against us type thing. I'm really interested to see who's going to follow suit now. Because I never would have expected Buddy Murphy to take that route. And then suddenly he did. And now I'm just like, ooh. And then, so in this, obviously the four of them are out in the ring. Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens come out. They discuss wanting to fight. They said they're not alone. And they bring out the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, so
that I thought was a nice touch too.
It was a good touch, the Big Boy Brigade. Like there was four big boys on stage. I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Really interesting to see that the Viking Raiders are definitely against the Monday Night
because so the show kicked off with them sort of having this thing. Seth is in the ring with the AOP and Buddy Murphy, sort of almost like baptizing him a little bit, announcing to the world that Buddy is part of the team.
He's seen the light. Yeah.
He's seen the light by wearing black. You know. Yeah, so and then I ran out of air for a second. That was weird. Then Samoa Joe Kevin Owens come out and they're like, "Hey, let's stop talking.
Hey, shut
Let's
up.
punch. Let's punch each other. Let's punch.
Yeah.
All right, you want to punch down?
Yeah.
And
they do.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, look, they do issue a challenge to have a fight tonight. Ultimately, like, Seth Owens ends up accepting. They're like, fight the Viking Raiders or whatever. Like, they're like, we want to challenge for the tag team titles tonight. And I was like, oh, AOP versus Viking Raiders? No. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy versus the Viking Raiders. I was like, we all know how that's going to end. Like, good luck, Seth, you dickhead.
Yeah, you're about to get Viking experience through the match, you fuck.
Exactly it. When I found out that sort of triggered something in me that said, is this going to turn the AOP on Seth? Because
I don't think so.
they're an actual tag team. They should be in that position.
Because Stephen in the chat does also add, he goes, I hate how they won the titles when they have a legit tag team in the AOP in their new faction. Look, let's break kayfabe. Let's break our own kayfabe for a second. Let's discuss this why. I think I know why. The reason being, what makes what in the faction? Let's have a look at AEW with the inner circle right now, right?
Yes.
The most factions tend to have the same rules. It's a tag team. It's the main guy who is a champion or holding a championship belt, and then you've got the new guy, and then I think there's normally another person, maybe a woman, right?
Yeah.
So or the muscle, right? So here we have the champ. These are things we discussed in the past. Champion here. So the champion in this situation would be Seth. AOP, the tag team, Buddy's the new guy. Where it stands right now, there is no other championship that Seth could hold ransom. Right? He is not going to be in the heavyweight title picture. It's not going to happen. We're not going to see him versus Brock again. So this is like,
no.
In order to legitimize the faction, there needed to be titles involved. Now, yes, it would have made sense to have them on the AOP. However, we need to see Seth holding a belt here, and he's not going to go for the USA. He can't have the world heavyweight. He can't have the women's because you have to punch his wife, and that's not cool. He could look, it's just, this is what had to be done to legitimize the faction. Or at least to legitimize Seth, right? And it puts Buddy up, brings him to the moon, right? It's totally rad in that sense. Disappointing thing is, I think they'll hold it until they can find a way to maybe swing one of the other belts back in their direction. And then they'll lose it. Then AOP might grab it again. We saw the same thing with the OC when AJ had the United States Championship, and then the Gallows and Anderson had the tag. Right, there was adding some legitimacy to them as a faction. However, it proceeded to fall out from underneath them as they just lost endlessly.
I think it also legitimizes the tag team titles a little bit more as well, because having them on such a feature of the show. Like, Seth is obviously the Monday Night Messiah. He is the be-all and end-all of the show. Having them on Seth, who is going to be on, like, he's on every week. He's there every week, like, preaching his message and, getting disciples and stuff like that. I think that really legitimizes those titles as well, because it did feel like we were losing them a little bit with the Viking Raiders having no competition. So, I don't know. I'm torn. Like, I kind of hate it, but at the same time, like, I'm interested to see where it's going to go.
Kayfabe back up. But look at it this way, right? So with the idea of, like, Buddy Murphy having these strings of losses, all it's doing is showing, like, the legitimate, quote-unquote, power of this Monday Night Messiah, right?
Yeah.
He found a man that was low, picked him up, and got him a fucking championship in less than a week.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Like, if that doesn't make you a believer, I don't know what does.
I don't know what does. At least the Messiah can deliver.
That's true. It is like, I made promises. I can make you do something. I can make something of you. Surprise. You now have your first main roster championship.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting too, because obviously this says to me that KO and possibly even Samoa Joe are gonna challenge for these titles at some point. But in saying that, they are interviewing backstage, and KO mentions that he's going to enter the Royal Rumble. And Samoa Joe goes, look, I'm all for being with you against Seth Rollins. However, Royal Rumble is every man for himself. And if you're standing in the way of my WrestleMania moment, I will go through you. And KO just sort of nods in agreement. So I'm really interested to see where this KO and Joe thing is going to go more than anything. Just because I'd love to see those two with the tag team titles on.
Mm-hmm.
That would be mad. But at the same time, I'm really interested to see how they're going to go when they come head to head at the Rumble, because I know they will.
Yes.
And it's going to be amazing.
It's gonna be good. Because I love Joe. I love Kevin Owens. That's why I love seeing them bundled together. And you know, as a large man myself, this faction of big dudes makes me happy. And then we see Kevin Owens, pro skater, like doing flips and shit off the half pipe. Oh,
yeah, that was amazing. Gosh, I've never seen him go so fast.
Fantastic. But yeah, no, I do think this little faction can go somewhere and do some well.
Yeah.
I mean, some good work. Yeah. However, I do wonder where's this other side going to go. And as I said, the big boy brigade makes sense. Had Big Show, we had all these dudes, but like, there's only so much.
I'm interested to see where it's going to go because we don't know, and I love being
because the difference here is Seth and his disciples. Even though they're relatively new faction, there's something about them. They feel connected. They feel on the same page, right? Where you look over at Seth, at KO and Samoa Joe and the Viking Raiders, like these are ragtags, dude. Right? Like these are just together for some reason. Like they came over. Yes, they've come together on a collective cause, but it's not quite the same. Like, and the fact that even in that conversation, and it's like, I'm gonna fucking throw you over that rope if I get the chance. Where like here, I guarantee you, none of them would do that to Seth.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, right? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like there is that sense of that connectiveness between them.
Yeah, definitely. And it does seem the same. Like obviously we did see a little bit from AOP and then they just sort of disappeared. Like it definitely seems that like Seth has, I guess, rescued them and brought them back into that light. Like so they definitely got that common ground.
But it could potentially go the way you mentioned. So Fluffman Dingus in the chat also mentions the AOP did have a weird look when there was that backstage interview with Seth saying him and Buddy were going to challenge.
I saw that too, Fluffman, and that's why I questioned, like, are they not happy with this? Could this cause some issues in this newly developed faction? Because the look on their face, they were just like, really? Like, hello? So I'm really interested to see where that goes. Very interested. This is the thing, like, I like the whole like Liv Morgan and Lana is the wrong kind of keeping me guessing because, I don't know why they're doing this and it's annoying me and I don't want to have to guess, just tell me. Whereas in this situation, like we have some motives here. We can see why people are doing things and you don't know where it's going to go and that's what's keeping me guessing. Like, I love that. Like, I am hook, line, and sinker in this. I am all about it. Like, it's going to sound crazy, but I love the whole the self-proclaimed Monday Night Messiah.
Me too. I'm in. I'm sold.
I am all about it. I love bad guy Seth, thinking he's the good guy. Like, I'm here to save people.
Because that's what makes a bad guy good. If someone,
I know.
Anytime there is like some of the best stories about bad people are bad people that think they are doing good.
Doing the right thing. Yeah, 100%. But I am all hyped for this. And as we move closer and closer to Royal Rumble, I'm getting more and more hyped for it. I am just so excited.
Yeah. So this is the final Raw before we head into Rumble. We won't have our predictions at the moment. Our predictions will come. Actually, they kind of have to do them now, I guess. Well, although you won't be in the stream on Sunday, you will be there, presumably having a chat in the stream as we predict.
Will be, yes.
So we can drop our predictions there. Because as it stands right now, I did lay some down yesterday. So the Rumble predictions that I'm similar with you, but just for point of difference, you picked Drew. I've got, I'll say, I want Keith Lee to take it. It's not going to happen, but I want to put Keith Lee on that list for me. I'll have a think about my definitive answer before the end of the week.
I'm set on Drew,
some of the other matches that we've seen, I had a big gush yesterday about my theory of Daniel Bryan and The Fiend. How do you think this match is going to go? Chat, let me know your thoughts too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Daniel Bryan is not quite fully himself yet. And I think he still has some, I think he has more to do. So I don't think he'll be taking the titles. I think The Fiend is going to keep them.
I agree. I think The Fiend will retain. However, I will think he'll take some damage from
Yes.
Daniel Bryan. Because as I discussed in my theory on this week's SmackDown episode, the whole idea of the Fiend's past is what is his weakness, right? And,
Yes.
you know, because
Daniel Bryan was one of them.
everything that he has done, all his motivations is the Fiend protecting Bray Wyatt from the past. It's seeking out revenge and everyone that has wronged him. Now, saying that, though, he has changed everybody that he has faced into a different version of themselves, a version that isn't involved with the Fiend or Bray Wyatt, right? Because they're kind of in a different place. Daniel Bryan, only person who has changed but returned to a part of Daniel Bryan that was involved with Bray Wyatt, and that will be the downfall. And as I said, like that'll chip him away. And although he won't gain the belt here, there's enough groundwork here and a bit of a breaking down until the next one. And then I don't know whether Daniel will take it at Mania or even if he gets a shot at Mania, depending on the Rumble, of course. But I think there may be a little bit between here and there.
Yes.
There is also the match between Lacey Evans and Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I honestly believe that Lacey Evans is going to take the title.
100%. I'm in the same boat. Lacey got it.
Yeah. And then ultimately Sasha will take it off her. Mm-hmm. I think that's how that's going to go. But yeah, I 100% believe that Lacey Evans is going to take the title from Bayley.
I'm an exact same as you there. It's an easy one. Apparently Humberto Carrillo and Andrade.
I think Andrade's got a
Andrade's taking it. He's got that bad boy.
I think this is going to be a really long-winded feud in the best way. And I reckon, I reckon Andrade's going to take it.
Big time. Sheamus versus Chad Gable.
Oh, Sheamus, 100%.
Yeah, why the fuck is this still a thing? I said that on SmackDown, but why is that a thing?
I am hyped to have Sheamus back. I just want to see him win all his matches, so just bring it.
I just want to see him do anything else, because he's good, he looks great, but why Chad Gable? That's right, he's Chad Gable, not his dumb fucking name. He's Chad Gable.
Yeah, he'll absolutely demolish him.
And the only other one we know of at the moment is obviously the Women's Rumble, of course, but we have the potential of the Intercontinental Championship, Braun versus Shinsuke. That does happen. Braun's getting that belt, man. Braun's coming out.
100%. No matter what Sammy and Cesaro throw at him, Braun is 100% bringing that title.
All right, who do you put down for the Women's Rumble?
Shit. Look, it's hard. Like, I don't even know who's in it at the moment.
Remember, 10 Raw, 10 SmackDown, 10 NXT.
Yeah. 10 NXT as well. I honestly believe that Shayna Baszler is going to win it.
Yep, Dash put Shayna in the chat, and that's exactly where I stand. Shayna's going to come in, wreck shop, challenge Becky, because Becky will win over Asuka, and that'll complete that cycle from last Royal Rumble, and then it will be build up, and then they'll have a ripper
Survivor
match.
Survivor Series was it was Becky versus Shayna, and they never really got that resolution. So I definitely think that's going to be that. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm really interested because, I definitely think the final two in that one will come down to Charlotte and Shayna.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Dash adds his prediction for the Men's Rumble. He says Roman, which is kind of it's an obvious choice. And I say that as in because it's probably the outcome that will happen. But I like to put a little bit of sizzle on it. A little bit of sizzle because both my picks are NXT people's. So I'm saying, I'm rolling the dice.
Yeah, and then I agree with you that Becky's going to come out on top of Asuka.
Big time. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's on their card too, but we kind of just said that. Super easy. But that brings us to the end of this episode of The Young and the Restless, our Raw analysis, our Raw breakdown. Thank you everyone that joined us on the Twitches. That's like Fluffman Dingus, Steven, Dash, Champion Gamer who's bounced. But there's a lot of people here that were very kind and very nice to spend their time with us on this. But this wrestling, if you want to spend time with us in some other ways, here's how it goes. Every Thursday morning, 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. You can listen to the show if you didn't happen to make it on the Twitch stream. But if you did want to make it on the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/thepopculturist, 8 p.m. Wednesday evenings for our Raw discussion. Mondays, 8 p.m. for our SmackDown breakdowns. It's always good fun. And the difficulty we're going to have here is we're going to have our SmackDown chats after the Rumble. So that's going to be interesting. Or maybe if you're free Saturday night or Sunday morning, we can find some time. Because we need to have that chat before the Rumble, because I think that will alter our stances. Then next week, if Jem's free, if not, I can probably find someone to do it with me. We'll also have our Rumble discussion. That will be Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. Twitch, with the going live on Wednesday morning. If you want to join the wrestling conversation in other ways, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, links in the description below. And Dash goes, did you read the dirt sheet? No, I didn't, because I forgot the dirt sheets there. Let me get the last of this out, then we'll go there. If you want to support us financially, head over to Facebook.com, head over to popculturist.com/shop. We can buy shirts and merch, other sort of shit. You can also go to, that's right, look at that chest area. There you go, done. Buy that shirt. Also, patreon.com/popculturist. Support us at $80 value. You get no rewards, just the kindness of sharing. You have no obligation to do so, but if you did, that would be amazing. And we'll be back here tomorrow for Twitch. Okay, let's quickly run through the dirt sheet as Dash sent it my way. I didn't get the notification because my Discord's on streamer mode. Let's have a quick squiz. I already love it. All right, dishing the dirt with Dirt Sheet Dash. Our good friend Dash Gamer scours the internet and finds what he needs, and he brings it here and goes, this is the news. This is the behind the scenes wrestling stuff that you need to know about. Here it is. Eat it up. Edge addresses the Young and the Wrestlers Dirt Sheet Dash. We reported earlier this week that it is WWE's current plan to have Edge win the 2020 Royal Rumble and head to WrestleMania to face The Fiend for the Universal Championship. Edge addresses reports about him signing a new contract with WWE. It's kind of funny to me, honestly. All of these rumors happening that I've been to Pittsburgh and I've been cleared to wrestle again and I've signed a new contract and I have no idea where any of it came from. The last time I was in Pittsburgh, I had my wrist fused in 2013. I don't know. I would go to Pittsburgh to see Pearl Jam for sure, but I haven't been there and I haven't signed a contract. To think I would now, to think I would know, I get like this. Again, I'll use tsunami of comments saying, you're coming back, you've signed a contract. I'm like, I really haven't. Oh yeah, that's what you'd say. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then Dash reports, Dash comes in with a response and goes, he's full of shit. We'll see him next week. So I do believe that Dash may be one of the people that is in fact fueling these potential rumor mills about Edge, and I think he's entirely responsible. So I do appreciate Edge for taking the time to comment on Dash and his allegations of his return. It is much appreciated. Thank you for taking the time to. It's it's tough being the rated R superstar, but you've made the time to talk to us. We appreciate it. Yeah. Speaking of making the time, you guys have made all the time to come be with us. So let's not take any more of your time, and we'll see you next week as we talk Royal Rumble and the SmackDown. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
Let's get ready to rumble. I'm Jem.
See you then.
Bye.
The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culturist WWE podcast, is fan support over at Patreon at patreon.com/thepopculturist. And we'd like to thank our Patreon producers and our Patreon founders for their kindness, their support, and their generosity. Our Patreon founders: Alpha Ferret, Craig O'Flaherty, David Chataway, Jesse Stevenson, and Jacob Garner. And our Patreon producers: AJ Abatomi, Damian Holdies, Kyle Dunn, Lee Wintershoven, Nathan Massetti, Paul James, Pure Mongrel, and Sean Levitt.